So on question 8, find the first three terms in the expansion. We've done expansions like this. You need it in the 1 plus x format, don't you? We need to have it as 1 plus or 1 minus something. So we're going to have to sort out this 4 at the start of the bracket before we do anything else. We're going to take the 4 out as a common factor, which means it will look like that. Notice all of that is inside the bracket that's to a power of minus a half. So that power of minus a half is applying to both things inside the bracket. 4 to the minus a half times 1 minus a quarter x to the minus a half. 4 to the power of minus a half. 4 to the half is 2. Minus 1 as a power means we've got a half in front of what we're writing. So we then have the binomial expansion stuff, which you have the formula for this. It's 1 plus n times x plus n times n minus 1 over 2 times x squared. And the question only wanted the first three terms, didn't it? So that's as far as we need to go. I should have put some dots in there, but I ran out of space. So we have a half times, inside that big bracket, that is 1 plus an eighth of x. Minus a half times minus a quarter gives me plus an eighth. The next term is going to be positive as well, isn't it? Because we're squaring the minus a quarter to make that positive, and then we've got two negatives multiplied together. We have 3 over 8, but we've got a 16 coming in there. So we've got 8 times 16, which is 128 times x squared. So the answer for this was a half plus a 16th of x plus 3 over 256 x squared. And so it went on. It was a really common mistake to end up multiplying by 4 instead of multiplying by a half at the end of that. You got 2 marks for what was inside the brackets as I was working that out. So that bit there was worth 2 marks on its own. 1 mark for this bit of rearranging at the start. 1 mark for your final answer. Part 2. The expansion of a plus bx divided by the thing that, or times the thing that we've just done, is 16 minus x. So hang on. In part 2, we've got that 16 minus x is equal to a plus bx times a half plus a 16th of x plus 3256 x squared, and so on. Or the first 2 terms of that are equal to that anyway. So if we were to multiply out these brackets, we would get a times a half. We would get a times a 16th. That was supposed to be a times a half. What have I done there? A times a half. Plus a times a 16th. X plus a half of b. And then we'd have other terms involving x squared and that kind of thing as well that would be going on there. So, a half of a is 16, which gives us a is 32. And 32 over 16, oh, come on. 32 over 16 plus b over 2 is equal to minus 1. So that is, what's that, 2 plus b over 2 is minus 1. So b over 2 is minus 3. So b equals negative 6. I don't think you had to put it back, you just had to find a and b, didn't you? Yes, just find the values of the constants a and b. So 32 and minus 6. I felt this, you know, this line here, it was a little bit frustrating how many of you were quite lax about putting brackets in there. So please remember to put brackets in whenever you need them. Don't worry about putting too many brackets in. A plus bx should have been inside brackets when it was multiplying the expansion from part 1. There we go.